To set up Atomic Big Band the horns to Playback in Dorico, there are a few things you will need to have. From our website, you can purchase the library itself, or if you already own it, you may need to update to version 1.8 or later. You can use Pulse, our download and installation app, to get the update. In the resources section, be sure to get the following tools which are free. Smart Delay Toggle Sync, which is a Kontakt multi-script, Non-Smart Delay Track Sync, which is a VST plugin, and then the Atomic Big Band Playback template files. For the template to automatically load the correct settings, you will need Kontakt 7. Either the free player or the full version will work, as Atomic Big Band is compatible with the free player. You will be directed to install this from Native Instruments after you make a purchase if you don't already have it. Kontakt 6 is compatible for those who prefer that version, but it will require some manual setup that will be explained in the additional documentation that comes with the playback template file. If you are not already a Dorico user, you will need to head over to steinberg.net/Dorico and download Dorico 5. If you already are a user of an earlier version, feel free to try the template and see if it works, and let us know in the comments below if it does. But the template was created with version 5, which is what we are supporting. So if you have any issues, upgrade to version 5. You have 3 choices: SE, Elements, and Pro. The SE version is free and will work with the template, but you will be limited to just 8 staves. To write for standard big band size, Dorico Elements will give you unlimited staves, and Dorico Pro will unlock many more features. So be sure to compare on their website and choose a version for you. They do offer upgrade pricing, which is great if you just want to try it out before committing. In order for the mixer in Dorico to work properly with individual instrument levels and panning, you have to set up multiple outputs as the default in Kontakt. To do this, you need to open Kontakt in standalone mode before trying to open it in Dorico or applying the playback template. So after you have it installed, open Kontakt standalone. It should look something like this, only with your libraries or folders visible here. I then like to go to the Kontakt logo in the upper left to make it look like a rack view, and then select View and make sure outputs are checked, and you will see the faders and the levels and the output numbers appear down here. Yours might look something different than this at first, but what you want to do is go to Presets/Batch Configuration, choose Factory, and then select Stereo 16X, and that should make it look something like this. Your numbers available down here for the time being may vary depending on what audio interface you are using, but the most important thing is that we've enabled all 16 outputs, and then you need to save this as current output section state as default for VST plugin. You might as well say all formats if you want to use all 16 channels, but you don't have to. You can just select VST plugin, as that is what Dorico uses. So I'm going to save that as the default for VST. To apply this playback template to Dorico, you can either start a new score or open an existing project. Here we are in a project that's already in progress. Once you have it open, you're going to want to go up to the Play menu in the top bar and then go to Playback Template. Once you're in Playback Template, you probably won't have it already listed there if you haven't done this before. You're going to want to press Import and then navigate to the folder where you downloaded it from our website. It's going to be the file that ends in .dorico/pt. Open. Yes, you can override it if it asks you that. And then you should see it appear here. Select it, press Apply and Close. Now it's loading Kontakt in the background under the Play section. There's one more step you need to do. If it's giving you any pinwheel or waiting, just wait till it's finished. And then go to VST and MIDI. You'll see Atomic Big Band the Horns K7 listed here. Press that little E-like button to open up Kontakt, and yours should look something like this, only you will see your libraries that you own here. And then you go to Atomic Big Band the Horns. I like to do this in the rack view So you're going to select the Kontakt logo in the upper left corner, view, rack view. Once you see this in your libraries on the left-hand side, find Atomic Big Band, the horns, go over to multis and select number 7, Dorico Playback. You can double click that or you can drag that into the window here. This multi automatically has all 13 horns mapped to the correct MIDI channel and a separate output. It may take several minutes for your libraries to load. Just give it a little time and then you'll be good to go. Now I would like to point out the live space and the live stage settings. If you go over to play mode and bring up the bottom pane and then navigate to the mixer view, this is key editor, this is mixer, you will see these two buttons here. The live space is the reverb settings that should load automatically with the playback template. We have a type of vintage plate reverb set on the far side of the stage and the near side of the stage, which directly relates to where you have your instruments laid out on your live stage. Now, in my experience, the live stage settings don't seem to automatically load with the playback template, so we have provided you a separate live stage file which you can import. But this is easy to adjust however you would like to your taste. This is the way Dorico handles reverb sends and panning. You just drag the instrument and move it from left to right. Further downstage will result in less reverb, and the more you move it upstage, the more reverb you will get. So I have the bass guitar and piano dry, and right here I've had the entire saxophone section over here, trombones, trumpets, and the drums. Now, to automatically load a live stage template, just go to play, stage template, import, select the file. In this case, I'm going to use Vintage Studio Mix. Open that. I already had it imported, so I just selected yes, it's okay to overwrite. And then you want to select it, apply and close. Then your panning and send levels will jump to look just like this. Now let's go back to a completed score or a score that's in progress that we want to play back, but we're ready to hear it in smart delay. So this is a good opportunity to point out that when our playback template first loads, Atomic Big Band will be in real-time mode. So that will work just like any other sample library and sync up with the factory sounds without any further steps required. However, one of the best things about our library is the smart delay mode, and that causes the sound to come out 4 beats later so that it can analyze each phrase and perform a really realistic result. But that puts it out of sync with any instruments that do not feature smart delay, such as the rhythm section in this case. So here's what we do. Open up the Kontakt instance. You're going to be in play mode. You can go to any track in Track Inspector and select the E, or just go straight to the VST and MIDI rack and press that little E button and it'll pop up. If you have the Smart Delay Toggle Sync multi-script installed, with one click, you can turn all the Smart Delay instruments on. I'd also like to point out that if this toggle switch ever gets out of sync with the buttons below, that's why we have this power button here, and you can toggle it the other way without affecting it. And if any individual tracks get off while you are editing it, you can toggle those one at a time back. But it's real easy to switch them all to smart delay all with one click. So you go smart delay. So now all the horns will come out 4 beats later than the playback line. And to adjust the playback of the non-smart delay instruments, we simply load the non-smart delay track sync plugin. So you'll want to go back to the mixer view and be sure that you have it large enough to show the inserts. So you just expand it up here and you'll go over to piano. I already have it loaded here, but if you don't, you would see all your VST plugins here. Go to straight ahead samples, other, and you're going to choose non-smart delay track sync. and then you press play, and you'll notice nothing comes out right away because you have to give the playback line 4 beats, and you'll start hearing one behind, and everything will be perfectly in sync without the need to move any notes to the left.